Hi there. Categorism is holding us back in many different ways. By categorism, I mean prejudice, bigotry, and discrimination at any level based on the categorization of people. Of course, when people discriminate against you in one way or another, of course that is holding you back from the outside. But prejudice, you would like to think that that's on other people, it doesn't affect you in itself. But it does, because people are connected. Our thoughts or our perceptions are shared with each other to some extent through social life and communication. We know for a fact that when there is a prejudice against a group of people, this is making people in that group hold themselves back. There have been many scientific studies that prove this, and until today, I was assuming that the standard interpretation is the whole story. I'm not longer so sure. The kind of experiment I'm talking about, one classic, is that there is a positive stereotype about Asians that they are good at math, and a negative stereotype about women that they are bad at math. So, take a number of Asian women, randomize them into three groups, make all three groups do the same math test. But one group is not prepared in any way, but one group is first reminded that they're Asians, and one group is first reminded that they're women. In this kind of experiment, the group that has been reminded that they are Asians will do best, and the group reminded that they are women will do worst. On average, of course, it is not that everyone in one group will do better or worse than anyone in the other. The effect is not that strong, but it is a fact, a provable fact. This is very interesting. The standard interpretation is that people are trying to live up or live down to the expectations set by stereotypes. And I'm convinced that this is part of the truth. I don't think it's the entire truth. We have this thing I call internalized categorism. It is the same thing as internalized homophobia, but goes for any categorization of people. Uh, this includes the whole thing with living down to stereotypes. It's definitely part of that. But I no longer think that internalized categorism is the whole thing. There is another thing as well. Let's call it disassociation. I don't know how common this is, but I think that it's a rather common thing. It's a rather large part of the explanation. This is not about living down to a certain stereotype. It's about dreaming away, shutting down, not wanting to be part of this system that hates you. When you are faced with categorism, when you're faced with different expressions of prejudice, bigotry, and discrimination, it's not just that you go along with it and live down to it. No, it's also that you don't want to be a part of this system. You distance yourself from it. This is in many ways a very healthy coping mechanism, distancing yourself from the thing that hurts you. But I think it also lowers your performance. When you're not really a part of something, you're not focused on it. Yeah, I would like to do the kind of experiment I mentioned, but with unrelated stereotypes. See if people do worse on any kind of test when faced with negative stereotypes about themselves, unrelated to the thing you're testing. I wonder if there are any such experiments already. This is definitely something I will look into further. So, that's enough rambling for today. What do you think? Do you think that it's common that categorism is pushing people down indirectly in this way, that we just dream away from this world that hates us, that it's lower us in that particular way? I think it is. So, that's all I have to say for now. Live long and prosper.